Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing like a half year TBR. However, prior to pressing record, I was gonna like gather all my books here so I could just I think I'm still gonna do that. Okay. We're back with me. Okay, so I have collected 26 on average. There are more. Like over my book cart there's more. I just normally go get them and pull them out and have to put them back, you know? So from my bookshelves, this is the TBR for the end of the year. For the next 6.5 months. There can't really be any particular order here because I sort of pull them out willy-nilly. But these are the ones I'm most like set on. So first we have Akatar. This isn't for this book. I've read this book. I've read the first 3. This is for the... I've been ill. I can't hear myself. This is for A Court of Frost and Starlight and A Court of Silver Flames. Because I haven't read them yet because I was going to read from the glossaries before I read them. So I've got 2 Akatar books to read. The whole Shatter Me series by Tara Maffey. Because the books are quite thin, depending on the readability of the first few, I might actually try and read the whole thing in a week. I think that might be quite cool. The Book Booth by Marcus Zusak. I have read this book before. I read it in school for English and I really enjoyed it. I also really enjoyed the film. But I just want to read it again. The layout is very interesting, very different. From what you've seen in a lot of books now, it's like there's not really like set chapters. There's a lot of like play with how the words are laid out on the page. Our first non-fantasy, non-romance book. There's only about 5 of these in the list. Hold on tight. So we've got Iron Flame. I read Fourth Wing literally October. I bought this pre-ordered when it came out and I just didn't pick it up because I picked it up, I read the first 30 pages and I was like, I just read Fourth Wing, I can't read this one yet. So I need to read this, especially because Our Next Storm is coming out and I really enjoyed Fourth Wing, loved it, gave it 5 stars. I was like, loved it. And I even bought the paperback to annotate because I didn't want to annotate hardback, to like reread and annotate. So what I might do is read this and annotate it and then go into this, and then I'll do the same for Iron Flame, depending on how much I actually like this book. Because if I don't really like it that much, I'm not going to buy a second copy of it just to annotate.
So you can use them.
So I can crack open an 800-page book easily. I don't know. So I've already read those 4. I'm on that one. That one is that one. But now I can put that one back and it'll be nice and neat.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Bargain of the century, eh?
Yeah, only £5.
£5?
Yeah, if I'd bought them all individually brand new, you're looking at £60 to £80.
Blimey. What a saving.
I know. Do you still have the Harry Potter books? Ta-ra! For a man in finance, trust fund. Big guy, blue eye. Do I kind of want to continue with fantasy? I think I might. I might just like pull fantasy out, apart from the ones at the bottom. Okay, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I know I'm gonna love this book. And I have this thing where I put such an expectation on a particular book that I know I'm gonna love, and I just don't read it. A bit like Magnolia Parks, I know I'm gonna love that book, and I'm not picking it up. This is like the whole series, not just this book. This also includes Ruthless Vows, which I'm a bit nervous about because a lot of people said they didn't like it as much. It was like a lot more, it was either too political or too like romantic. It was missing the other half. So they're not very big books. The font's kind of small though. What up with that? Nervous but excited, which feels weird because I never class it as a fantasy book. I suppose it is, it's just been around my whole life. We have Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This book, Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows. And as you would have seen, I bought a new box set. today, so, you know, slay, I guess. But yeah, just because these are like a matte cover, and the original paperbacks are not. They're just like your standard paperback material. So I really don't like cracking them open. Do I have any creases on any of them? Maybe a bit on the... It's weird because the blue ones are like matte, and then the black ones are sort of like this plasticky feel. Very strange. But they also show grease really well. And they're special editions, so... I don't think they're limited, I think they're just special. I got them for the 20th anniversary. So I'm going to put this one back in the box it came in, but I am going to read the final 3 with my new paperback collection. That's just for the last 3, and then I'm done with Harry Potter, because I'd never read it as a kid. I'm like, fully done. We have Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas, which is the Throne of Glass series. I've already read The Assassin's Blade. I read it first. So I have Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. And I work in a shop, and this customer came in, and she was talking about how she was going to go home and read her book, and then she brought it in today, and she was reading Tower of Dawn. I was like, oh my god, I have a bookmark for tandem reads, which I do. And she was like, people only tandem read because they get bored easily. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I was like, oh, I have a bookmark which tells you what chapters to read and stuff. She's like, oh my gosh, do you really? I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, brats, I should have got one of those. And I was like, yeah. Anyway, Throne of Glass series, which I am getting through. I have started this book. I'm on page 11. One more fantasy that's sort of on my mind, and then I'll like name some off the top of my head. We have Holly Black's The Prisoner's Throne. I read Stolen Heir February, March time. It wasn't my fave, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I want to read this before I kind of forget about what happened in Stolen Heir, and I have already kind of forgot. But because this is in Oak's point of view, how the last one ends, like I remember like the last moment that happened, because then I'm done with that one. And I know Holly Black has some other novels that I kind of want to get into as well. As for other series, we have the Deadly Education series. Maybe like a reread of Maze Runner or Hunger Games. I've never read the Hunger Games. I'm trying to think of other fantasies, and I really don't know that many. I don't think I know any other than your mainstream ones. Oh, Shadow and Bone. That trilogy plus the Six of Crows duology, because I was reading it that way around. I have a friend who read it the other way around, and she said it didn't really matter. I'm going to read the trilogy first, then the duology. I've been putting those off for a while. Maybe I should read those soon. Anyway, let's move on to something different. Thriller mysteries next. Okay. First up for thrillers. And I actually saw another Dan Brown book in the charity shop. This is the Da Vinci Code. The one I saw in the charity shop is The Lost Symbol. So this is the Robert Langdon series, standalones. And he's like, sort of think like Sherlock Holmes. But, I don't know, it is like Sherlock Holmes. He's like a series. He's a character and he has lots of books in it. I love how floppy this paperback is. This sounded just really interesting to me, and I've had it for quite a while. And it's set in the Louvre in Paris, where someone was murdered in the Grand Gallery. And I was like, oh my god, galleries, murder, so good. They are stunned to find a trail that leads to the works of Leonardo da Vinci that suggests an answer to an old age mystery that stretches deep into the vault of history. The only thing is, I hate the format of British books. I call them supermarket standards. And it's cheaply published books that have really shit formatting. So if you take this book and compare it to Sarah J Maas, for example. Sarah J Maas has a particular font she uses in all of her books, plus a particular font layout where it doesn't feel like you're staring at a block of text, whereas this is very blocky. It's just not, like, physically it's not something I like. One other thriller that I'm sort of halfway through that I did want to note is, what's it called? Oh my god. The One of Us is Lying, the fourth one. The latest one. I don't remember what it's called. I'll put a picture up here because I really don't remember. But I really want to read that book. I'm like partway through. I'm like 120-ish pages through it. But it's just like an odd sized hardback, and I'm just really not vibing with the physicality of the book. Let me see if I can get this out. The only other ones, can I name any more off my head? Snap. There wasn't much to the synopsis on the back, but I just remember it being like quite staccato. and like kind of interesting. Oh yeah, it was like a car crash happens and it was like that snap decision changes your whole life. Holly Jackson's the reappearance of Rachel Price. The clerk, the shop clerk in the works told me this is chef's kiss, phenomenal. And I was like, okay, cool. I also haven't read 5 of 5. Although the books were long, I really did enjoy A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I don't really know what it's about. It's like this girl disappeared and she's come back. I'm really trying to think of more thrillers that I might be looking forward to. I would say for like the thriller aspect, maybe The Goldfinch, but I don't really know if that's a thriller. It's not thrilling to me so far. My boy only breaks his favorite toys. Okay, I've only got like one-ish, two-ish horror book. Carrie by Stephen King. I've got quite a dry palette. I own Billy Summers by Stephen King, and I can't get into it. And I think because I know the story of Carrie, I've seen the film, all iterations of the films, a bajillion times. More akin to going into something else by him if I've read something I already know. I also know that book is sort of like, the title's like 110923 or something like that. That one about time travel, whatever it is. I also think that would be really cool. If I could like find that book, I would 100% read it. But yeah, Carrie by Stephen King, our first like horror. We have Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. It's a very short book. I know nothing about it. I saw it in HMV and I got it. I want to read it. Because at the beginning of the year I set a goal where I wanted to read 5 classics. I've read none. And we're halfway through the year. I have Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I have read a shortened version of this. We own little books of classic books that are like illustrated children's versions. Little Women. I love the 2019 film. It's my favourite film. I can quote that film. Oh, the monologues are so good. And I've been wanting to buy this for so long as well. It was in a bar booksellers where in the town I was in for uni. And I just never bought it. I think it was because like the cover was kind of ugly. But like I did really want it. But this paper is like Bible paper. It's like really thin and flimsy and I'm so excited. Another classics I've got is Dostoevsky's White Nights. Plus Babuk, because Babuk's in here as well. There's just like a 2-in-1. I know it's like gut-wrenchingly, heartbreakingly phenomenal and so many people love it. And they're like, you have not read until you've read White Nights. And I was like, okay, I'll read White Nights then, I guess. We get on to the fun part, because what we're doing now is romance and literary fiction. Okay? Are you ready? So I don't think you are. In no particular order. We have got Tessa Bailey's It Happened One Summer duology. This is my last chance for Tessa Bailey to discern whether it was one particular book I didn't like or actually her writing style. These are my last 2 hopes for this author. If I don't like her writing, I will not be picking up any more of her books. These are just books I happened to own prior to me reading any of her books, and I didn't like them. Actually, this one Sasha gave me, so that one wasn't on my fault. We have Husband Material, the second in the London's Calling duology. I ploughed through the first one. The first one was so good. And I actually already had started this one, and then I put it down. But they're such good like palate cleansers. Like I was in a real bad slump when I read the first one, and it brought me right back out of it. So maybe I should pick this one up because I am feeling a bit about reading. Okay, not a romance, but we have The Ministry of Time by Callian Bradley. I've seen a lot of people raving about this. This is it just happens to be a signed edition. Oops. Yeah, Haley Pham was raving about this. The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which I've seen the trailer is becoming like a new movie. I feel like this has been around for ages and it actually hasn't been around that long. Okay, it's been around since 2018. I feel like I've seen this book everywhere. Everyone knows about this book. Some people have read it, some people haven't. I know it's currently a TV show, but I also know I think it's becoming a movie. I've definitely seen that floating around on YouTube. And it's not as thick as I thought. I think I always thought it would be like massive, but the text is huge. All of that isn't even the story itself. That's just like added information. Like that's it. It's 260 pages. Slap bang, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There is no excuses. We have Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. This will finish the Twisted series for me. Some books in the Twisted series I've loved, some I've actually like hated, and I've only read 3 books. So this is like my final indicator. If I love this book, I might go on to the ones with the king. The King series. I don't know what it's called. The ones with the kings. I might go on to another series of hers if I love this book. However, I'm finding the topics she writes about a bit boring because it's sort of like the same thing in every book. That's how it's feeling to me, personally. Just not a big fan of that right now. And there might just be a right now thing, which is fine, because then you could just go to her, because I know what I'm getting myself into when I return to her books. I'm just not vibing with her writing anymore. If it was 2 years ago and had I read them all then, probably would have been great. I could have put these into piles. Like a summer pile, an autumn pile, a winter pile. Because I definitely have some Christmas books, which I will read around Christmas time, but they're not like part of like the TBR, you know? We have Ruth Ozeki's The Book of Form and Emptiness. This is a book I've known for a long time and I'm really intrigued by it. It's a literary fiction about a boy called Benny O. He begins to hear voices and they belong to things in the house and stuff like that. And then he goes to a library and it's like silent, I believe. But I know I'm gonna love it. I know it's gonna be like a book I'm gonna love. The Magnolia Park series. Look, my sister got me a little bead bookmark. I can't wait for it to make sense. My thing with Magnolia Parks is, I know I'm gonna love it. However, when you see like people have such like mixed and changing opinions of it, you always feel a little bit like, ugh, going into it. And I own all the books. I did that thing where I bought the whole series before even reading one, but I did get it for my birthday. And I just think it's just gonna be so fun and bingeable. Maybe I should just start it now. See, here's my problem, is I start so many books and then I finish none of them. So like, if I start this now, even if I read the whole series in like a week, or if I finish them, I still have like 20 books unfinished. This is a problem. I can feel my attention starting to wane, so maybe I just need like an easy, cheesy, breezy reading. Maybe I should. I've only got 4 left in my stack, but there are definitely more that I just have not named here. We've got Funny Story by Emily Henry. Obviously her new release. I wouldn't say her books are auto-buy for me. I still haven't read Beach Read, but I have read her other ones. And some of them I loved, some of them I just didn't love, and the other ones were like middle of the road. So like Happy Place, 4-star, Book Lovers, 5, all-time favourite. And then You and Me on Vacation, like 2.5, 3. It's really like, could be neither here nor there. I really don't know how it's going to go. We just have to go with the wind. I've got The Course of Love by Elaine de Botton. And I bought this because Harry Styles was wearing it in a photo. Not wearing it. He was holding it. He was reading it. He wore it, like, read it 2021. It was a long time ago. The List by Yomi Adegoke, which Jack Edwards mentioned in the video. And I can't remember whether he said he liked it or he didn't. But I just remember the cover. And I saw this in the services on my way to Derby. Hold on a sec, let me read what this is about. And I was like, this is kind of interesting. Like a social commentary, basically. Online media, and I suppose how it feels to be public in that sphere that so many feel and seem untouchable and really they're not. Also, the colour of the cover is so cute. Isn't it such a, that's such a cute colour. It's Collide by Belle Cabra. I've seen her stuff on Kindle Unlimited, or Kindle in general, but I really do like a hockey romance, you know? And I've never read anything by her, but I saw it in a shop and I was like, this looks so cute. Why is this skirt so short? You know? It's just kind of like, it's like fun, easy, cheesy romance vibe. This is what I'm talking about. I'm also gonna quickly like list off other book titles that should be on this pile, but I just over there. We've got Beach Read, The Idea of You. I need to read that one so bad. A Sorrow Beyond Dreams, which is a really short story. Before the Coffee Gets Cocktails from a Cafe, and I also want to read the 3rd one as well. A Little Life, and then there's like a few other classics. A Man Called Ove and Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. I'll probably like a few others I like want to get to, but I just don't know if I'm gonna enjoy so much. Makes me nervous. Yeah, look, I got my braces up. Anyway, if you did enjoy my very long, very rambling, I'll make sure to like edit it so it seems more fun than it is. Thanks for watching. If you have books that are on this list or aren't on this list that you have read or want to read for the rest of this year, let me know down below, because I could always do with more books. You know, you can never have too many books. Anyway, see ya, besties.